Can you live a life without disease? The word disease is two words. The etymology of the word disease is actually dis-ease. Dis-ease. If you are at ease, then you have no illness, you have no sickness, you have no migraine, you have no pressure, you have no blood sugar, you have no diabetes, because you are at ease with yourself. If you are uneasy about your body, and if your body is not functioning in a normal way, then we say you have a disease. Disease. If some evil has entered into your body, evil, pastors talk about evil and how Satan, brings it into existence. But in Pan-Africanism and in health and nutrition, we talk about evil as Eve is ill. If you imagine that in some philosophy, they talk about Eve being the first person. Of course, no evidence. But if Eve gets ill, then her body is not functioning properly. So can we therefore live a life without disease? Can we live a life without headaches? Can we live a life without migraine? Can we live a life without death? Can we live a life without cancer? It is important to know that African people did not know disease. Disease did not exist in an African setting and an African situation. It is almost difficult now for an African to believe that that is the case. Because everywhere you look in Africa, especially in cities, you see a lot of sick people. I was in Mulago Hospital in Kampala, in Uganda, one of the big hospitals. Remember, most people associate hospitals with Europeans, that Europeans in some way invented hospitals. They might have some elements of truth in it, because the European separates the body and treats it as a machine in a hospital. He separates the spirit and he treats it in a church. And he separates the mind and he treats it in a school. Now, that is not an African concept. The African dealt with the mind, the body, and the spirit. The mind, body, and the spirit. It was holistic. Everything was dealt together. So if you look in our ancient classical history, you will see that in ancient Egypt and in ancient Kemet and in ancient Ethiopia and in ancient Nubia and in ancient Libya and in ancient Carthage, they had what they called the houses of life, the perank. And in the perank, you'd get natural, organic, wonderful food. In the perank, there would be what the Hebrews called the Bekaim, or where you could be treated from. You would get natural remedies, natural medicines. Also, you'd get chemicalized medicine. Because remember, it is the Africans that evolved chemistry. In fact, the word chemistry comes from the Arab word alchemia. And the Arab word alchemia means the science of compounds of the people of Kemet. Kemet being the name that the Africans gave themselves, or the kingdom that they set around the Nile Valley.